Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Wednesday episode of the Degenerate Simulators podcast. I'm your host, Jordan. We are riding solo once again today, and sorry if I sound a little gross. I do have a little bit of a cold, but life goes on, so we're here. Um, Unfortunately, we had a pretty flat Tuesday, very flat actually, as we go over 3. Not really sure what happened here. I thought picks were solid. We'll look at the Bucks Pacers game first. It was 114 to 111 with about 5 seconds left in the game. Um, Kind of knew we needed overtime at that point. Tyrese Halliburton hits a huge three to tie the game, but Giannis Antetokounmpo fouls him. He hits the free throw. We had a chance to push, with the Bucks going for game. And Giannis actually did get a shot off, a 3 point shot, in time, but bounced off the front rim. So their game ends at 2:29, so 3 point short there. Panthers minus 1.5. They went into the third period up 2-0, and they gave up 4 unanswered goals in the third period. So, um, yeah. The Golden Knights minus 1.5. They were down 2-0 at one point. I want to say they went into the third down 2-0. It might have been 2-1. This game actually does go into overtime, and they lose in the first. I think it was like 49 seconds. Yeah, overtime was less than a minute. So, yeah, pretty disappointing day. Yeah, not really much else to say. We go down 2.8. Um, I'm just gonna keep. I think I'm just gonna keep updating how we are in the month. Right now we sit at 11, 15, and 1, and we're down 4 units. It's crazy how fast things can turn around in the world of sports betting. We were up few units just a few days ago. We had a couple bad nights, and here we are. But we had another 3 picks going out today. Hopefully, we can erase this deficit here. Where do we want to start? We'll start in the NBA. I have 1 pick from the NBA today and 2 from the NHL. We're actually looking at a prime time, big game tonight. Usually at the NBA, we're kind of looking at the smaller market games, but we are looking at the Thunder going on the road against Boston. Um, whenever 2 high level teams like this play, I always feel like it is a little bit of a risky play. I don't really know how it's going to play out. We kind of seen this with the few matchups between OKC and Cleveland this year. But I think the books are giving us good numbers here for this game. Um, just a game with 2 offensive powerhouses and the line being below 230 is always something worth taking a look at. The line I caught was 228.5. If you can get it any lower than that, sure. By all means, go ahead. um, the Celtics have been red hot lately. They're still putting up 117 points per game, and they've won 5 in a row, and they've won 8. Or they're 8-2 in their last 10. Thunder are also still hot. They've also won. They've also went 8-2 in their last 10, but they are coming off a loss to Denver over the weekend. Jalen Williams is going to be out of this game, which is important to note. He is a very good defender. He does contribute to their system a lot, and I feel like at this point in the season, especially with Chet Holmgren being back, the Thunder are kind of like experimenting a little bit, seeing what lineups work best, and just trying to finish the complete puzzle of their team here before we head into playoffs. As you guys know, we're gonna see a lot shorter rotations here, so they're trying to figure out who's gonna be getting more minutes, who's gonna be getting cut, things like that. Um, and I feel like due to this, we've actually been seeing teams being able to put up a lot of points on this Thunder team. Um, in their last 6 games, they've gone over this line of 228.5 4 out of 6 times. Um, and these were against a lot of or at least a few offenses that were a lot less capable than the Celtics here. Most importantly, that I thought San Antonio put up 132 points on them, and Houston put up 128. Houston's obviously a good team, but I feel like they're more defensive heavy as well. But yeah, I think both these offenses are worse than the Celtics, and they're clearing 120 points with relative ease. If you want to play the Celtics team total, I think the line is at 114 or 114.5 at minus 130. Um, I don't mind it, but just in case the Thunder run away with this game, like a score of like 128 to like 112. That's kind of why I'm playing the game over here. But yeah, both teams are hot. I think both teams want this win. Both teams are relatively healthy, minus Jalen Williams being out. But yeah, I think it's gonna be very back and forth. A lot of offense. Thunder do have a great defense, as we know, but they've been letting the score get ran up on them, by some mid tier teams, and I think the Celtics are not a mid tier team, and they're gonna do better. So for first pick of the day, we're going over 228.5 points for the Thunder, taking on the Celtics for 1.1 units. And then that's all I got for the NBA. I might add some more. Kind of want to take it slow for the day, given how the past couple episodes have gone. But if I do add anything, it will be posted on our Instagram at DD Sports Podcast over there. And regardless of where you're watching this, that link is in the descriptions of either YouTube or Spotify. But anyways, moving on, we're going to hockey. Um, I feel like we haven't really bet on money games regarding these two teams, so this might be a little surprising to you guys. But we're looking at the Anaheim Ducks going on the road against the Utah Hockey Club. Funnily enough, these teams are actually relatively in the hunt for a playoff spot, more so the Utah Hockey Club, but the Ducks do have a chance. They sit three behind. Well, they sit 3 points behind that second wild card spot behind Calgary, or that Calgary holds. Sorry, and the Ducks are 7 points behind. Obviously, a little less likely than the Utah Hockey Club, but they're still very much in the race. The line for total goals here is 5.5. And these teams have played twice already this year. And in both of these games, that number has been cleared with relative ease. One game with 8 goals and the other with 9. Utah is coming off back-to-back losses, and the Ducks are also coming off of a loss. Um, yeah, so they both, both in the hunt, both running cold. I think both teams are going to be firing on all cylinders here. Important to note, the Ducks do lead the season series 2-0. They could win this one for sure. But I think that is just more motivation for Utah to do their thing and put the puck in the net here. And these teams are relatively middle of the pack in terms of the entire NHL, and their defenses are pretty lackluster at times for both sides. So I see this game getting up there once again and score for the third time. And important to note, the Ducks have gone over 5.5 in 3 of their last 5, and the Utah Hockey Club has gone over 4 of the last 5 games. And I think we see another over here tonight. So kicking things off in the NHL scheme of things, we're going over 5.5 goals for Anaheim at Utah Hockey Club for 1.3 units. And last but not least, we're looking at the Buffalo Sabres taking on the Detroit Red Wings at home, or sorry, on the road. It's a home game for the Red Wings here. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I left my iPad at work, and for those that don't know, I keep my iPad like right here, and I have my notes up. I didn't have it today, so I'm kind of I'm winging it today. But yeah, Red Wings are I believe 3 points behind a wild card spot. Give me 1 second. Um, sorry, 4 points behind. They've been running super cold. They've lost their last 6 games, and I want to say they're 3-7 in their last 10. Um, actually, I'm literally on the screen. I could just confirm it. Oh, so it's 2-7-1. Sorry, so even worse than 3-7. 3-7. Um, Usually we do take teams that are running very hot. Um, I think it's been biting us a little bit lately, though. We saw it with Tampa against Boston, and we just saw it with Florida against Boston. This Red Wings team was a squad that was holding on to that wild card spot for a good chunk of time, and obviously losing 6 games in a row, that's not how you keep a wild card spot, and they've fallen off big time. I do think they are due for a win. Like I said, they were holding on to that wild card spot for a little bit, so we know they're capable of doing it. Especially at home, against a Buffalo Sabres team that is at the bottom of what division are they in? I just blanked. Sorry, the Atlantic Division. My apologies. Yeah. So bottom of the barrel team, literally the worst in their division. The Red Wings are at home. Um, yeah, we usually do play hot teams, but right now I'm looking at a team with their backs against the wall at home against a struggling team. Um, if there is a game for them to figure stuff out again, I think it is this one. Um, if Buffalo wins, am I going to be surprised? Not really, but I just think the more likely outcome is that the Red Wings know what's on the line here, because I think another loss here. I mean, I don't want to say it's the end all be all. Their season's over, but these games against lower end teams mean a lot. Um, but then, like I mentioned, the Red Wings have lost six straight, but they've been against decent opponents. They lost to Ottawa, they lost to the Capitals, they lost to Utah, they lost to Carolina, and they lost to Columbus. These are all playoff content, or at least in the hunt. Especially Utah, but all the other four teams, those are playoff contenders for sure. So I think they look to recoup here against a not playoff contender and look to win this game. I do like the puck line here of -1.5 for Detroit. It is +160. So we are gonna put a nice round 1 unit on there. We'll have to go up 1.6 units off of that. So that is going to cap off our action for the night. We are taking the Red Wings at -1.5. Excuse me. And yeah, that's gonna be it for today. We're gonna kick into the recap really quick. Like I said, just keep an eye out on Instagram just in case if I decide to add anything. Probably won't, given we've been relatively cold, but we'll see. Um, so first up, we have the Thunder at the Celtics. We're taking the over 228.5 for the game total for 1.1 units. We are taking the over 5.5 goals for the Anaheim Ducks at Utah Hockey Club for 1.3 units. And for the last pick of the night, we are taking the Red Wings -1.5 puck line for 1 unit even. It's going to give us 3.4 units in play with the potential to go up 3.6, which would essentially erase our deficit for the month and put us in a good spot for Thursday's bets. So that's going to do it for us today, or for me today. It's only me here. Hopefully Daniel will be back for Thursday, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.